Deals and not no plea, burglary, being neat. Don't you size me like no rapper. I be quick to grab my ski, get my sweet, but I be.
For week 3 in the NFL, the Titans get their first chance to defend the AFC South title, but the Colts look to challenge the throne. Find out what happens next on EA Sports.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Anthony Frisker, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. This defense for the Colts, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say
that's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Titans. Julio Jones. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
That is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary and you give up a big one.
And here's Rodgers to return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time. And you get a look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The numbers for him from a week ago. 22 carries, 97 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Into the red zone, Wentz. This to Hines on the drop-off. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a second down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
On second down, it's Taylor. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league that's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Julian Blackmon bringing him down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
And got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And a short gain here down to the 22. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 20 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
on 2nd and 9. Tannehill got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Tannehill. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Now Wentz. Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. On the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On second down, here's Henry. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Looking deep for Julio. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And here's Rodgers on the return. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Hits his target to tight end Mo Alley-Cox. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on second down. Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To the air again, Tannehill. He's going to look downfield for Henry. Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. A check down here for Henry. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Rosas' kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Play action. Now Wentz. That ball caught by Campbell. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. On first down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is caught. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it. Blankenship's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
This will be fielded inside the 5. So we come to halftime here with a visit. And we will skip the highlights show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
From the 25 on second down, Wentz. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play. And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On third down, here's Taylor. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 73 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a first down.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The third running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL. And by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Wentz now to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They run with Taylor. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. He's got his tight end over the middle. That's Firkser. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And remember, the Titans lost Jonnu Smith, their #1 tight end the last few years, when he signed with New England in free agency. So that might open up a few more looks for Firkser, and he makes a smooth catch there.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll get 3 up to midfield. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the 50, it's Tannehill. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wide-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Brett Kern now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's Wentz to throw. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On first down, Tannehill. And this will be incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. He's going deep for Brown. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. On the handoff, it's Mack. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
And the Colts are going to have it 1st and goal as they'll take this down to about the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or you just come? And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. But this one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
You have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Tannehill with a throw caught by Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Tannehill. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll try the left side. It's Hines. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. They run again with Hines. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched